Hi you guys, welcome back. It's Natalie. It's Hot Shot Adventures. Eddie gave me his blessing, right, to share his story with you guys. I'm gonna try and make it brief, but it's probably gonna be a long video. So, you know, just hang out with me on the porch, sit back, relax, kick your boots off, put a good dip in, and just hang out with me for a little bit because I want to share this story with you guys. It's kind of a sad story. You know, it's a very sad story in my opinion. It is a reality. If you guys are looking at this business, if you've been in this business for any length of time, you have been through your own trials and tribulations. And again, I've said this in so many videos. If you guys have not checked out the playlists, I've been on YouTube for 4 years, so there's 1,000 gazillion videos out there that I've done. But I have a playlist that's called New to Hot Shot Education, and if you guys go and check that out, you'll find more of the educational, you know, type videos on that playlist, and this will be on that playlist as well. Eddie started with me in March of 2023. Okay, so as of next year in March, it would have been 2 years. When Eddie started out, he had the Ram. The Ram did not work out. He traded it for this 2024 Chevy Silverado 3500. He got it in March of this year. $100,000 truck. Every bell and whistle you could possibly imagine. Beautiful truck. From March to the beginning of July, like July 1st, he put 60,000 miles within that 4-month period. He put about 60,000 miles on the truck. The truck went down in Amarillo, Texas, at the beginning of July. No warning, no sputtering, no weird noises, no check engine light, no nothing. All of a sudden the truck just literally kaput, and he barely limped it over to the shoulder. He was on I-20 or whatever freeway, I don't know. I think he was on the 287. I don't know what he was on. He was up in Amarillo. The truck went kaput, right? No warning. He calls me. He's like, I'm done. He's freaking out, you know. I'm like, what's going on? He sends me pictures. There's oil all in the cab of the truck, just everywhere. There's freaking oil everywhere. The truck won't start. He doesn't want to start the truck. He got it towed to I believe the TA there in Amarillo. I came, if you guys remember the videos, you know, I came from, I think I was in Michigan, and within like 27 hours I made it to him in Amarillo from Michigan, and picked up his loaded trailer, and we took it to Idaho with my truck, with the She-Beast. Came back, you know, loaded his truck up onto the trailer, took him to South Texas. Right away, he drops off the truck at the dealership, the Chevy dealership. Should be under warranty, right? The truck has a 100,000 mile powertrain, whatever warranty on it. 60,000 miles on the truck, 62,000 miles on the truck. They go back and forth with him. They test the diesel and they say, oh, you put bad diesel in the truck, so we're not going to cover this under warranty. You need a turbo, they said. You need a turbo. That's why all of your oil went everywhere, which is bullshit, but okay, fine. So you need a turbo. We estimate it's going to cost $5,000. The first 2 months, they had the truck for 4 months, you guys, 4 freaking months. The first 2 months, they went back and forth with Eddie. You know, we're not going to cover it. You know, it's your fault. It's not our fault, you know. So finally he's like, okay, fine, I'll pay for the freaking thing. Just put the truck back together. I mean, Eddie explained to them time and time again, I need this truck. This truck is what generates me revenue. You know, I make $8,000-$10,000 a week, you know, anywhere from 6 to 10. I think his highest week with Jessica was $14,000 that they grossed in a week. So, but again, that was both of them. That was team. So, and then his highest week on his own was $10,000, you know, and he hit that several times. And they don't care. The dealership does not give a shit, you guys. They could care less. Eddie's telling them, I'm about to go bankrupt. I'm literally in the hole. The longer you guys keep my truck, like, the worse it gets. I need my truck. Fix my truck. Fix my truck. So finally, they're like, okay, you know, you need a turbo, and we'll order it. So it takes them another 3 weeks to order it. Then they finally get it. Then it takes them another 2 weeks to put it in. And then come to find out their diesel mechanic quit, you guys. So they just had some other technician throw the turbo in. And then they call Eddie and they're like, oh, well, we put the turbo in, but like, the truck still is slow to start when you hit the gas. But we think it's fine, so come and pick it up. So they estimated $5,000 on the repair. I told Eddie, as soon as they said it was a turbo and they were dicking him around, I was like, dude, just take it out of there. Just take it out. Let's take, if they're not going to cover it under warranty, let's take it to a real shop and have a real shop freaking diagnose it and fix it, you know? Nope. So he stuck with the dealership, you know, and I would assume, I don't know why, but I would assume that he did that because they had already torn the truck completely apart, and they were probably going to charge him a lot of money. Even if he did not want them to do the repair, they were going to charge a lot of money to put the truck back together just for him to take it to another shop, because of course they're going to do that. So they probably were going to charge him $1,500 just to throw it all back together, just for him to take it to another shop. So I'm sure he probably figured by the time he did all that and paid all that, yes, it would have been cheaper at a different shop, but after you pay the dealership so much money, then it's really the same. So he stuck with the dealership. They order the part, they put it back together. They tell him, oh, well, it's still a little slow to start, but you should just pay for it. They estimated $5,000. It actually cost $7,200. Just pay us, take your truck out, and just drive it around, and it'll freaking fix itself. Like, yeah, right. So whatever. He picks it up. You guys, this is the reality of starting a business, of being self-employed. It is not like a company driving position. He scraped together $7,200 after he had been off of work for several weeks. You know, he was able to barely scrape together $7,200 to get his truck out, and he starts driving it around, and right away, you guys, it goes into limp mode. Now, let me back up a little bit. Let me back up. Eddie's truck went down the beginning of July. Eddie, I told him, look, I have 2 trucks. Jump into my truck. Jason had just brought my truck back because Jason had my truck for like 2 months. I said, just, you know, Jason just brought my truck back. Let me do a little bit of maintenance on it. I literally had my gray truck in my possession for 2 days before Eddie, from the time Jason dropped it off from using it from his Chevy truck going down to the time that Eddie picked it up because his Chevy truck went down. So I had 2 days. I maintenanced the truck as best as I could with all the stuff that I could. And I sent Eddie out. I said, look, this is obviously, you're not going to make the same amount of money, right, that you are used to making, but hopefully this will give you a temporary Band-Aid, a temporary solution to continue to keep your head above water. Because of course, you know, we all have personal bills. We all have company bills. And when your truck is down, you are not generating any money, and those bills are still coming. The mortgage is going to come regardless. The truck payment is going to come regardless. The mortgage is going to come whether you actually are at the house or whether you're out on the road for 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. They still want their money. And the same thing applies with the truck payment. Whether the truck payment has been at the dealership for 4 months or not, or whether you're running it, it doesn't matter. They still want their freaking monthly payment. So the bills are still coming. So I told Eddie, look, jump into my truck for a couple months, you know, let's get you some revenue. Let's keep you going to hopefully, like I said, keep your head above water for the business and the personal finances, expenses. So that's what we did. Eddie had my truck from July 6th until the end of September. It did. It kept his head above water. But at some point I was like, okay, well, I need my truck back because I have other things. I have other things planned for it. And that other thing was Jefferson, because Jefferson's truck went down. So I was trying to put Jefferson in my truck for a little while to help him out. And so, you know, I kind of had to call for my truck to come back. And like I said, Eddie, you know, $7,200 that he scraped together, and you know, his heart sank, and he was so bummed out, you know, so bummed out when he got his truck back, and it did not work. Whatever they did to it that supposedly that was going to fix it, it did not work. So then, you know, we're all like a little family here. So then Jason goes down from Oklahoma. He goes down to South Texas for a weekend, and he tore the whole truck apart, you guys. He cleaned it out. The dealership didn't even clean out the oil from everywhere. I mean, you're seeing the video here, like there's freaking oil everywhere still. And Jason's, you know, spent 2.5 days there cleaning it out and clearing the codes and driving it around and trying to get the truck to work properly, right? And it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't. It kept going into limp mode, kept throwing a check engine light on. And finally Jason was like, look, dude, you know, the best thing that I can suggest to you is the truck is still under warranty. Take it to a different Chevy dealership and see what they say. Well, he did, right? Now, in the meantime, Eddie's not working. He no longer has my truck, and he hasn't been working for several weeks, and now he's broke because he pulled together all that money he could to get his truck out of the dealership. So Eddie had to go back to his old job, you guys, and he hates it. He hates it. The drama, the people, the equipment. He's in a big rig that's like on its last leg because they won't maintain it right, and it doesn't have heat. And he was in Albuquerque when the snow was, you know, it was like freaking freezing temperatures, and the heater doesn't even work. And you know, he has to go through all of those frustrations of going from being an independent or an owner operator for a year and a half to going back and sitting in somebody else's truck as a company driver, and he hates it. So be mindful of that. There's another, you know, there's another whole set of issues. It's one set of issues when you're an owner operator, and it's a whole other set of issues when you're a company driver. And when you're a company driver, you have to do whatever they say. You have to, you know, work whatever truck they tell you to work. When it goes down, you have to follow whatever protocol and procedures that they want you to in order to get the truck fixed. And you have to sit in that freaking broke down truck for as long as you need to, till they tell you to sit in it, you know. And it just sucks, you know. You got to wait 4 or 5 hours or till the next day to get a load, and they don't pay you for sitting time, and you know, just all of that stuff. That there's different, you know, trials and tribulations for each path that you choose to take, whether you're a company driver or whether you're an owner operator. So again, Eddie had to go back to this company just to keep his head above water with the personal bills, right? So he takes the truck to another Chevy dealership, right? And now they're telling him, you know, then they have it sitting there for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they're like, oh, well, it's the EGR. You know, you put bad diesel in it. They fixed the turbo. That didn't fix it. Now it's the EGR. Now he needs $2,500 to get the EGR fixed. And we're all kind of waiting. And I talked to him. It's been 2 months. Eddie hasn't been working for me for like 2 months now. And it sucks. You know, a little part of my team is gone. You know, Eddie was the first guy that I leased on when I moved to Texas. And you know, we've been working in the trenches together. Like, it's my pal, you know, and I want to see everybody successful, but this is the reality. You know, even when you buy a new truck, don't think that you're not going to have issues. Even when you lease on with a company, don't think that it's not risk-free, because there are still many risks involved. You guys pray for my Eddie Spaghetti. You know, he's trying to do the best that he can, and that's the reality. And that's the reason why I wanted to share his story with you, is for exactly those reasons. Like, there's still so much risk involved, you guys. There's still so much, there's a lot of reward and there's a lot of risk, you know. And for some people this lifestyle works out, and for others it doesn't. And it could be a number of various reasons why things don't work out. You know, it could be the amount of expenses and the lack of revenue, or the amount of revenue that you need in order to keep your company and your personal lifestyle afloat. That's better. I had to get away from that sun. So there's a lot of risk, you guys. There's a lot of risk involved. When you go and drop $100,000 on a truck, you can't assume that it's going to be perfect, especially the way they're putting these damn trucks together these days. You know, it's people say these trucks aren't built for this and blah blah blah, but I call bullshit on that, because I got 2 of them and they've run just fine for me. Each of them have over 300,000 miles on them, and I haven't done no big repairs to them. So I don't know, you know, I don't believe that, because that's not been my personal experience. But I have seen many trucks, you know, go I have seen a few, not many, but I have seen a few trucks go down for various reasons, and I have watched the guys that own and operate those trucks struggle. You know, it is a struggle. You have to see the value in being your own boss, and you have to like this lifestyle. You truly have to like this lifestyle. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It takes a special kind of crazy. It takes a special kind of crazy, okay, you guys, to like and enjoy this. And along with that special kind of crazy, it takes a lot of support to have mentors or buddies. You know, I'm not talking about all the groups on Facebook, because that's all bullshit, you guys. For any of you guys who are watching that stuff, it's just crazy. You know, I am on a couple of them, and man, the stuff I hear and see and the comments are just, you know, I see it on my feed or whatever, and I I laugh, you know, I have to laugh. So that's not education, you guys, okay? Get you a real mentor and have money in the bank, you guys, because when I first started, I started in July of 2019. And after I had paid for all of the stuff to get set up and started, which was about $30,000, I still had like 20 grand in the bank. And that money floated me, because if you do become an independent owner operator and start your own business and go independent with your own MC and DOT numbers, this company, the company that you start, is going to take and take and take money from you way before, for months and months, way before it ever actually starts paying you, okay? And I want to make that very, very, very clear. It will take from you way before you actually start seeing money come back to you. You actually start being able to pay yourself. You actually start, you know, and I'm not talking about, I mean, you know, you're going to make enough money to float your personal expenses usually, but actually to actually pay yourself, you know, to put money in your own pocket. Like, wow, okay, I'm going to pay myself $800 this week, or I'm going to pay myself $1,000, you know, that's not going to come for months and months and months. And you have to have money, because I'll tell you right now, both my trucks been sitting for probably 5 weeks. I've done nothing but put money into them in those 5 weeks. So not only have they not been generating me any revenue, they've been taking revenue. They've been taking money from me, whether that be in maintenance, retrofitting the gray truck, you know, all of the lubrications, all the fluids, you know, tires. Oh my God, new shocks, alignments, all of this stuff, you know, costs. I've been spending thousands, and then of course the insurance on both trucks, the registration on both trucks, the fuel on both trucks, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars have gone into both of my trucks over these 5 weeks that I've been pretty much home, you know, other than going up to Minnesota to buy this trailer, which I'm still not done with, you guys. You'll see a video on that. Jason's coming to the house tomorrow to help me hopefully finish it off, so we'll do a video on that. They're just taking money from me, right? And I'm just waiting. I'm like, oh, I just want to get these trucks back out on the road so they can generate me some money, because that's the only way that it's going to happen, you know. And when the truck goes down, you're screwed. And if you don't got money in the bank, you're double screwed, because the insurance still wants to be paid. Everybody still wants to be paid, you know. So if you think you're going to come out here and live paycheck to paycheck, you're going to flop on your face real fast, you know. And that's the reality, you know. That's the reality. I mean, you know, Eddie has had tens of $1,000s in the savings, you know, and then when his truck went down, hey, you know, yeah, I kept him afloat for 3 months, but I'm sure he was dipping into his savings. And then when you got to go take out almost 10 grand to pick up your truck, you know, after you've been paying for it for 3-4 months, it's been just sitting there at the dealership. I mean, all of that stuff costs money, you guys. So just be mindful of that. You guys keep my Eddie Spaghetti in your prayers for me, you know. Hopefully he can come back to me. Hopefully he can get this. Hopefully the EGR is the problem in the first place, because we don't even know if that's truly the problem. Hopefully that's the problem, and he can get, you know, enough money generated so that he can get that truck fixed, and then he can come back and we can finish off the year strong. I don't know, you know, but those are the realities, you know. Those are the realities. And for those of you who are looking at starting up, you know, think about that. Are you in a position financially? Are you in a position mentally to take risks like that for yourself as well as your family, whoever is dependent upon you to live and survive? You know, those are the risks involved. That's the sacrifice that we make. So anyway, you guys, happy Veterans Day. That was yesterday. Thank you to everybody who's active military, anybody, you know, who used to be in the military. You guys, thank you so much for keeping my freedoms free, you know, and allowing me to have this beautiful life in this beautiful country that we live in. And I thank you. And you guys, you know, take care and really assess this lifestyle. You know, if you guys have questions and you need me to mentor you, www.patreon.com/hotshotadventures. And just know that it is a risk. You know, you are rolling the dice, and I'll do some more videos on the risks and all of that stuff in some future videos that I have to come. But you guys, you know, go ahead and check out my playlist. Keep Eddie in your prayers. I'm keeping you guys in my prayers. You guys take care. Stay safe out on the road. And hopefully I'll be out on the road soon too. You guys, I'll talk to you soon.